Welcome, everybody, to Connections Community Church post show. Super excited to have you here. We're just going to talk a little bit about Dave's sermon and what was impactful, what was good, what was beneficial, and hopefully have some really good discussion around that. So first, how everybody's doing?
Wonderful.
Good. How are you guys?
How about you guys? Yeah.
I'm sweaty. It's really hot in here.
Very
I'm
warm
not
in here
sweaty
today.
today. This
That's
is a
great.
first.
It is really warm in here.
You do have a sweater on, so that adds
I
to
know.
it. But
If my face progressively gets more red,
Oh, we'll stop and take notice and laugh.
yes,
no,
point it out.
We'll ask to have
Point
a
it out.
close up so we can see the
no,
little
like slow
drips.
zoom in.
Just slow zoom.
No,
Well, that's great. Glad everybody's here today. So yeah, what stood out in this talk about moral compromise? Yet another challenging conversation to have from Dave. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Moral
Keep them coming, Dave. These are so fun to talk about afterwards. I think the whole Unfollow series has just continued to position me to think about myself and my choices throughout the message, and then even after the message, right? It's definitely something that continues to resonate with me personally throughout the week. So I'll say that for my first information
Blurb.
of sharing.
What about you? What stood out in Dave's sermon from today? Moral compromise.
Just to I need to keep continuing to go over how I live my life and just watch out for these things that I could be doing.
Yeah.
Because I've definitely done it in the past, and I'm sure I will do it again in the future. Because that's, it's the pattern of humans, I guess.
Right, for sure. Elizabeth, anything stand out?
I bolded one thing that he said that wasn't on a slide because what?
Oh, nothing.
Don't cheat.
I was whatever.
Cheating.
I write down everything on the slides, but then I also try to pay attention to if anything because Dave to me has a way of saying things that are so just duh, but it's the way he phrases it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yep.
And it was when I don't know how to say the word.
How's it spelled? Spell it for us.
No, how do you say this word, Matt?
Now you can cheat.
Idolatry?
Idolatry.
Yes.
Is that okay? I looked at the word and I was like, I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say that. That word. So I feel like every time I think about it, or I've been talked to about it, it's been very much just oh, don't have any other gods before, or
Yeah.
So then my brain, I have to remind my brain that it's not just oh, I don't believe in some other god, so I'm doing good,
Right.
type of thing, to where there are so many things that you can prioritize over your relationship with God without even realizing it. My phone, scrolling on social media, I tell myself it's research for my job in social media,
Right.
which sometimes it is, but I know that there are things, and what Dave said is, you are looking to lesser things as the giver of life. And just that sentence, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Just the way that is said, it's social media literally is means nothing in the grand scheme of things. It's great. It's a great place to connect and post really weird videos of you two dancing. It's great. I love it.
We're the best
The
dancers.
best one.
Best Groove Rangers.
That was second place name, but we had a better name. than that.
But so there are such good things about it, but when
Yeah.
it's that is my go-to when I'm not doing anything, or if I'm hey, I'm overwhelmed, let me scroll on Instagram, it was just that phrase really hit me.
It was a gut punch,
Yeah.
for sure.
Because I'm oh man, all these lesser things I'm looking at as so it's dang it.
Yeah, definitely. There's all kinds of things that we can pursue that we're man, this is a good thing. But then it becomes an idol, or it becomes this way of making ourselves bigger. And I think that's one of the things that Dave was really hitting on, was talking about there's all of these different pursuits that we can have. And by themselves, they're not necessarily inherently bad or evil or anything, but it's the elevated status in our lives that makes it that way. It becomes a placeholder for God.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things, is like they can just be so sneaky. What are some ways that you think that we might safeguard ourselves against a lot of the challenges that we might face as we pursue serving God and doing these really good things? And maybe it is social media, or maybe it is like a job or money or whatever it might be. What are some ways that we can safeguard ourselves against these dangerous moral compromises?
Yeah, I think a couple things come to mind for me, and things that I actively, try to lean into. One, routinely coming to church helps a ton. And it's not to say that people have to be in person. I think it's so neat, especially after COVID, how we have embraced more of the online population, which we do here. Obviously, we're streaming now.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing. And I'm the person behind the computer and in the chats, and I get to see the numbers, and they increase every Sunday. So
Amazing.
yeah, and I absolutely encourage that, because I think, I don't know about others, but for me, like coming and being able to hear these messages and these reminders, like it refuels my soul, my tank, and it gives me things, like I said earlier, to kind of kick things off today. It gives me things to think about, to go into my week ahead. And I have a lot of Sundays where I'm not here, because we have a zillion hundred kids and we're all these activities. And I feel that. I feel when my gas tank is depleted, and I feel things like moral compromise increase more. And it's always there for me, because like you said, Matt, we're humans, and I'm not perfect by any means. But when I can be here more regularly, or if I'm not here, if I'm just in the Word on a regular basis, it helps tremendously kind of keep my my decisions, my thoughts. It just keeps goodness on the forefront.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just isn't there.
Right. And not leaning so far as to be like legalistic, like, like the leaven of the Pharisees.
Right.
And it's not on us, but there are certainly things that we can do to aid God's work in our lives. Right. No, that's great. That's awesome. What do you guys think? What can we do to safeguard ourselves against these moral compromises?
I would say currently I am not completely able to do this in the way I would like to, but being as generous as possible. If my car broke down, so I got to get a new car. So money's tight, right?
Yeah.
But like, man, just like giving people the time of day to have a little conversation. Just representing Christ in that way, and helping people feel like they are just like valid human beings.
Yeah.
And giving your time in that way. Because I mean, we hear all the time that time is money. So there is a way of that being generous. Also, if you got it, give it. Like if you got it like that, if you got that money, give it away.
Yeah. We're going to get that on a pencil. If you got it, give it.
Just be as generous as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's the saying? People don't know how much you care people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Right. And if you can't give them the time of day, how are they ever going to come to know Jesus?
Yeah.
At least from us.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's a great translation from greed isn't just about money. Right. We can be greedy with our resources. We can be greedy with our time. We can be greedy in a lot of different ways, not just with money. That's great. Elizabeth, how about you?
I feel like I personally, if I am struggling or if I'm just focusing too much on other things, I feel like I always need someone to like call me out on it almost. Because it's like, if I'm just like in my head, I don't know. So like I try to surround myself with people that like I'm like, hey, like if you notice something, or if I'm like, hey, if you notice I'm like, I don't know. I just need someone to more so say it to me, because I am more likely to be like, oh crap, yeah, like stop, than like, so maybe just find a person that you can like just be 100% honest with you about like, hey, you're prioritizing this over reading your Bible or whatever, or like, hey, I haven't seen you at church, just, I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
An accountability buddy.
Find a buddy.
Sure, yeah.
Find a buddy.
Find a buddy. I mean, what's the concept in the military is a battle buddy. Like you have somebody that you know that you can count on no matter what. Even if everything else falls away, you have a person who's there who's going to support you. They have your back. They're going to be going into battle with you. They're going to be, they're going to have extra resources for you. They're going to have all these different ways that they can support you, and that you're not on your own. Yeah. And it's incredible that we can live, especially with social media, we can live in a world where we're so connected to people, but we are so alone. And we think, okay, well, I've got to make sure everybody knows that I'm doing good, or they think I'm doing good. So I have to post all these pretty pictures, and I have to post me smiling in so many ways. But we are literally one of the loneliest generations. There was a study done in the UK, and they actually appointed the Minister of Loneliness. Minister of Loneliness. And that was somebody who was dedicated in finding a way to make sure that people were not feeling alone. And I mean, this came about, I believe it was through COVID, but people were just continually finding more and more ways to be isolated. And so, yeah, I think the dangers of social media, of loneliness, is that it makes us think that we have to do things on our own. We have to do things. We got to figure ourselves out. And of course, American culture, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get it done, right? But yeah,
It's
what
like
was
such a lie, right?
Right.
Like no one's ever done anything by themselves.
No.
Not anything good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. But what are some other things that stood out as far as these ideas of moral dangers, moral pitfalls when it comes to compromising? Is there anything else?
I just think back, because I'm a little older than these two, smidge about, I find like in a lot of these messages, I compare it to what it was like back in my day.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm one of those people.
It's
I think it's when you
come
hit
real quick.
close to your 40s, you can say that. It's like a rite of passage, because I've been saying it all the time. But I think a lot about like what it was like 20 years ago and what it's like now. And then I think about what it's going to be like in 20 more years in the future, and then for my kids. So I don't know if this is true or not, but the first thoughts I have around that concept is that, at least for me, my moral compromises seem easier and more frequent and like easier to justify or to morally like compromise on, if that makes sense. Which is surprising, because you would think as I've gotten older, like I would do better. And it's not to say that I don't do like as many bad things today as I did when I was in my 20s or teenage years. It's not that. It's more of just like, sometimes I feel like I thought about it more when I was younger, because I don't know, you had rules and you were in a household. But now it's like I'm an adult. I don't have anybody necessarily like watching over me per se. So it's just interesting kind of thinking about it from that perspective. And then like I said earlier, like thinking about what our society and generations are going to be like in the future, and the moral compromises that we have today, are there going to be different ones in the future? So some of that kind of, just spirals lots of thoughts.
Yeah, I think that is very well put. And I mean, speaking for myself, it's generally like I know better.
Yeah.
Or at least I should know better. And so I'm the authority in my life. I don't have somebody else breathing down my neck the way that I should be acting and behaving and the things that I should be doing or focusing on. And so I am the one who can say that. And, I've read the Bible. I've done this. I've done that.
Yeah.
And this is what I think.
Yeah.
And really not truly subjecting myself or submitting myself to who Jesus is and what he's done. But deciding, yeah, I know better.
Yeah. And I think with social media, it is so easy to sugarcoat things and to find different angles that certain situations or moral compromises aren't that bad.
Yeah.
And social media just wasn't as big of a thing back in my day.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's, again, it's like, what's it going to be like in the future, right?
Yeah.
Especially for, our kids.
Right.
The ones when 20 years from now for them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Definitely. Anything else that stood
I
out?
feel like adding on to that, I feel like it feels so normal, some of the things. Like I was just reading through my list of things that Dave said, and it's like slandering, you abuse people with your words.
Yeah.
If you get in a conversation with someone and they are just talking bad about someone and say you're just you're feeling, it's so easy to just add on to that because sometimes it just feels good to just get all your feelings out, and it's just it's hard to look at this list and then be like, yeah, I struggle with this stuff, but I shouldn't. Because what you said, I know better, but it's you just we're very broken people.
Yes.
And it's just, we get stuck in this just cycle of struggling. At least I do.
Yeah. Well, it's probably only you.
Yeah.
I know.
So
Yeah,
we don't
I know.
understand.
Yeah, speaking for
Such a
everyone
I know. I
else.
am the
person.
only person ever.
With your compassion shirt on over there.
Oh, boy.
It's a lie. She's actually the worst human we got.
That's who we look for, right? Matt, what about you? Anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, social media is really tough, right? Because everyone seems to be able to justify everything that they do, even and especially Christian circles online. There is this massive thing where people are stating their personal convictions online as law, and it really frustrates me because it's I see it pop up in the youth students' conversations. It's you're influencing the younger generation based on your personal conviction, not based on actually, not based on solely truths.
Yeah.
You're adding to it. It's frustrating.
Yeah. The influencer world is definitely one that is dangerous and one that we have to be even more vigilant now than we ever have been. We want to make sure that we're teaching kids not just what to think, but how to think.
Yeah.
We have so many things that we want to focus on and instill in our kids so that as they move into the future and as they see what life is supposed to be like, that they're not saying but that person's life looks good and that person's thoughts sound good. We don't want just somebody who's going to tickle your ears and make it. That's such a weird saying, but
I have never once heard that saying.
yeah,
ever.
that's the Bible. It's that feels good. They love what they
Tickles
hear.
your
Yes,
ears.
yes.
I just
Anyways,
the hand gesture
sorry,
tickles
that
your ears.
That's just what I
Gives me
think.
the
Tickling.
heebie-jeebies a little bit just thinking about somebody tickling my ears. Ew.
But yeah, I mean, just teaching our kids and the future generations. Here's how we interact with the Bible. Here's how we interact with God. And here's what we can do to equip you to live a life that is filled with truth, that is peaceful, that has peace beyond understanding, that has hope that other people don't have. But here, as we find ourselves in Jesus, we're going to make sure that we can live a life that is true to him, that is the life that he gave us, that he brings. So yeah, I mean, this has been a great conversation. I really don't want to stop, but I know we're coming up on our next service. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you again soon. If you haven't come here in person, we would love to see you. But if you are online, if you're at a distance, we understand, and we're so glad that you're here. We have things coming up in the service. Please, with our church community. If you know that you want to be a part of things, look online, see what you can be a part of, sign up, be a part of things here. We want to get to know you. And just remember that as Jesus loves you more than we ever could, we're going to do our best to love you as well. But go, be blessed, and Godspeed.